insane. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy. But maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. How do you do? Cause I'm feeling so good. Memories now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. We can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. Yeah. What's on the other side of inhibition? Ooh, how do you do? Cause I'm feeling so cool.
Tryna get my attention, tryna get your redemption. I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my putting. Put two in your man if your man keep a looking. Act like a poopy, yo, bitch get tookin'. I'm not the type to go fuck with them niggas who fuck with them niggas who stay on some fish. Oh, young and trapping out the bando. From the ceiling fan to the damn floor. Trying to stack my money up. Cause that's the only way we can go. Tell my mama that I'm okay. See the money coming through the doorway. Got a bad bitch with a lot of money, that's foreplay. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me.
You got me trapped inside this spell. Now I feel it, now I feel it. Your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel it.
Too close.
Haaland, and here in career mode, City have won the lot. Rodri on the chance! Goal in the final by Rodri! Jude Bellingham will not be coming to Manchester City. We are Premier League champions, City FC, our champions. Series based on the World Cup with music videos, football and more. Get your official City FC merchandise. Join us as we explore historic Europe and football. Hello and welcome back to the We Are City channel for Manchester City versus Red Star Belgrade. Two teams going head to head in a game which does not matter for Manchester City. RB Leipzig and City have already qualified in this group. City today take on a side with a very heavily rotated team and a lot of young players in there, which is great to see, and a chance to see some of these young players perform for Manchester City. It really is. 67% of you guys believe Oscar Bobb is the one you're really looking forward to seeing. But it's a debut, a big debut actually, for the big one. Michael Hamilton starts. Michael Hamilton, number 92, starts Manchester City's first ever appearance for the club, the number 92. He's come from all the way from the under-9s, this Manchester City side, to the first team now. And actually in 2017, when Manchester City played a game in the home at Premier League, there was a game where City was struggling in the game was moving too slowly. And the ball boy quickly threw the ball to a City player, took the throw in, and Manchester City scored for it. And Pep Guardiola went over specifically to the ball boy to say, listen, that was fantastic what you did there. You just helped the side. Thank you for quickening up the game. That ball boy was Michael Hamilton. Michael Hamilton now starts today for Manchester City. What a journey. On the UEFA website, it said Hamilton was starting striker. Pep Guardiola said he sees that Oscar Bobb plays in the middle last season for the second team. He can play outside or inside, and we rely on him a lot, but it looks like actually Oscar Bobb will be at striker. We'll run through this Manchester City starting 11 then, with Stefan Ortega in goal. It's Rico Lewis, John Stones, captain, Manu Akanji, and Sergio Gomez, the back four for Manchester City. Phillips and Kovacic partner in the midfield too, with attacking Matheus Nunes in front. On the left is Jack Grealish, on the right will be Michael Hamilton, and to the middle will be Oscar Bobb playing in a sort of false nine role. Now Manchester City today named 13 players on the bench. Starting with the senior players, we have got Scott Carson, Kyle Walker, Ruben Diaz, Nathan Ake, Rodri, Julian Alvarez, Bernardo Silva, Josh Gvardiol and Phil Foden as for the senior players. But City do have some youngsters in there as well. Like we said, Michael Hamilton is the first one. He is in the starting 11. He's captain the youth team. Plenty of times a 20-year-old. He is in there. But he's not the only one on the bench for the City side today. On the bench today is True Grant, a youth goalkeeper who is actually the son of Lee Grant, who's most recently played for Manchester United. You'll know him pretty well, Lee Grant. I think if you know about Manchester United, he played for Manchester United a few times. Well, True Grant is his younger son. He's the goalkeeper in Manchester City's youth system. He is on the bench today. I don't think True Grant will make an appearance today, purely because Stefan Ortega will play the first full 90 minutes unless there's an injury, and Scott Carson probably wants to come on. Otherwise, the other player is Catalan midfielder Sissoko here. Mohamed Sissoko, who is from Catalonia, is from Spain, Spanish midfielder. Seems to have a lot of quality. He's a holding midfielder who likes to break up play and make the passes. He might get a little bit of a chance in the Manchester City side. And also in there is Max Allain. Max Allain is considered very much a sort of elegant centre-back in the mould of a John Stones, an Aymeric Laporte, a Virgil van Dijk in the sense. I think he's a bit more smaller in stature, more like a John Stones. But those are the young players on that Manchester City bench today who all could get a chance. All could get a chance in this Manchester City side. Calvin Phillips gets a start, which will be great for him to see Phillips actually play some football for City. Matheus Nunes, there's going to be 90 minutes so we can judge Matheus Nunes a little bit more. The same goes for the likes of Mateo Kovacic, Sergio Gomez as well. They've got Rico Lewis in there at right back today, officially at right back today. Let's see how Rico does. Stefan Ortega, a chance for him to impress. But I think the most exciting one really is Oscar Bobb. 62% of you guys saying you're most excited to see Oscar Bobb. I am very excited to see Oscar Bobb in that Manchester City starting 11 and see how he does in that false nine role if that's where he is playing. As for Red Star Belgrade, their side, I didn't do a little lineup alongside each other because I didn't think you guys would be too interested in that. But Red Star Belgrade go with Glazier in goal. It's Dragovic, Safic, Diga and Nedel Djokovic in that back four. Maljovic in the midfield with Hwang and Kanga. And then he's a front three for them of Bakari and Jai and also Olayinka. So that is the side for them. On the bench, other players as well. Players that, I'll be honest with you, I have never heard of. So, I won't lie to you and say, my football knowledge is absolutely unbelievable. I know all these players. I don't know the Red Star Belgrade players at all. But I know one of them scored against Manchester City at the Etihad. But there we are. So that's the way it's going to go. City against Belgrade. And I'm very excited to see how Manchester City play today with a rotated side, but also just the younger players in the team as well. Michael Hamilton, of course, is a real positive point. There's other players in there, like perhaps the Max Lane on the bench or someone like that. I'd like to see get a bit of action for City if possible. Because now's the chance. It's a dead rubber game, a bit like a pre-season game, just about keeping players fit and letting players impress Pep Guardiola. One thing that will be interesting here today in Belgrade is the atmosphere at the ground. I think it'll be rocking here in Serbia. And not only that, but also the sort of way that Belgrade, I think they can still qualify, could they? Could they still qualify for the Europa League if they were to outdo Young Boys' results against Borussia, against RB Leipzig. So things on the line for Red Star Belgrade. There's been a bit of issues before the game, hasn't there, between City fans, which is a bit unfortunately, between City fans and the Belgrade fans. And City fans not at fault at all. City fans just enjoying themselves in a pub, and mass Belgrade fans turn up to be aggressive, to be violent, to cause problems, which is not what we want to see in world football at all. We'll have to see how UEFA deals with that in the future. But yeah, that's the way it is. It does say Premier League, doesn't it, on the background there, on our little graphics. I will change that. I arrived a little bit later back today, so I sort of rushed things a little bit. It still says the Premier League. We'll change it to the Champions League, It won't take me a second. But we are in the Champions League today, not in the Premier League, of course. Manchester City against Red Star Belgrade. And I think Red Star Belgrade, or Zvezda, as they called over there, will have a good game today. I think they'll put in some performance against Manchester City. I think they'll give it their best. Like I said, they perhaps are still playing for a chance in the Europa League with City and Leipzig already through. So they'll be pushing any other situation. The thing is that Leipzig, they can only finish second, City can only finish first. It's a dead rubber for Manchester City. We've seen City play younger players before. I think Tosin Adebayo got a game for City at this stage against Shakhtar Donetsk a few years ago. We saw Phil Foden, Brahim Diaz, those sorts of players play. So City players now coming out onto the field. Max Lane there, number 68, is walking out into the field with Ruben Diaz, Julian Alvarez and Mohamed Soho. So we'll have to see if we get a chance to see them younger players play. I'd love to see Soho come on, I think, or in a lane at the back line. Rest Akanji, rest Stones. True Grant for Ortega, I don't think will happen. But I think all the eyes are really on Michael Hamilton. I mean, the guy is 20 years of age now, so he's not like a Phil Foden who's come through at 17 years of age. Hamilton is 20. He's had a couple of injury issues in the youth system which have hampered his Manchester City career. But now's his chance to impress the Manchester City players around him. Pep Guardiola, the manager, is the main one to impress, but also the fans. Because if you impress the fans will be calling for you to play more. And he could be a really good option for Manchester City, perhaps. The same for Oscar Bob, who's having his little breakthrough season, which is good to see, Oscar Bob. So we are only about 3 minutes away from kickoff as the players come out onto the field here. Manchester City led out by captain Johnny Stones. And City come out to the field. Chance for Calvin Phillips impressed in that midfield. There has been a few rumours that I will put out on our City community tab here on the channel, which all the transfer news goes out on, of us being linked with Brazilian and Fluminense midfielder Andre. Have to see how that one goes. And out come Zvezda and Manchester City going head to head here in the Champions League. Like I said, a dead rubber. This game isn't for anything, but it's going to be exciting. Paris Saint-Germain are playing Borussia Dortmund, Newcastle and AC Milan. Those games will be exciting as well, because those will decide who's going through in their Champions League later on. I think that's later on, or is it now? I'm not quite sure. I think that those games are later on. So 2 teams in the field now here in Belgrade. Not the biggest of stadiums here in Serbia, in the capital. A chance for Manchester City and some of the youngsters to really impress and give Pep Guardiola something to think about. And even the experienced players as well. I think Sergio Gomez, Kovacic, Phillips, Matheus Nunes can give Pep Guardiola something to think about. Say, listen, you should be starting me more often. Oscar Bob can excel in a position unnatural to him really at number 9, but he will be playing a false 9 where he played a lot of the youth games for last season for Manchester City. I remember the Belgrade goalkeeper Glazer making quite a lot of saves against City in the home leg, where Manchester City actually were 1-0 down, weren't they, at half-time? And Julian Alvarez masterclass in the second half. Free kicks and a really good performance got City back in front, and City ended up coming away 3-1 winners. So the players will shake hands now here as we are preparing for kick-off. Red Star Belgrade in their red and white home kit. Manchester City in the third kit today. The black kit with the electric blue electricity across it. And the pink numbers as well. Andrew's going for a 1-1 draw with the team City are playing. Well, let us know, guys, in the comments as always, who you think top scorer will be in this game. First scorer. Who you think will be, you know, performing the best. Let us know the result as well. Dragovic is the captain for Red Star Belgrade, who is a former Leicester City player. And Jai up top was pretty good. Bakari, Olayinka as well in that first leg. We've got a few players in yellow cards that will be suspended for future games. Barak Bakar, the manager, trying to be positive in his decisions and the players he's fielded here for Red Star Belgrade. Manchester City's team is on your screen, as you can see. Belgrade's team is there as well. And I've actually got a Red Star Belgrade football pitch, as I always change the background. This one with the flares going. I'm sure there'll be some flares today from Red Star Belgrade. They would not surprise me. So off comes Alexander Dragovic, the Austrian. There with John Stones, Manchester City's captain today. Handshake between the two captains. As the City side and the Belgrade side are ready to go head-to-head here in the Champions League. We'd sort of expect Manchester City to come out and win this one. But you never know. I think with the side we've put out there, it's not certain. So we'll just run through a team again. Ortega starts and goal. It's Gomez, Akanji, Stones and Lewis at the back. Kovacic and Phillips partner in midfield too. Mateusz Nunes, Jack Grealish and Micah Hamilton in behind Oscar Bob at the number 9. City with 13 substitutes on the bench. 2 of those goalkeepers and Scott Carson and True Grant. It's Kyle Walker, Ruben Diaz, Nathan Ake, Rodri, Julian Alvarez, Bernardo Silva, Josh Govardio, Phil Foden, Max Elaine and Mohamed Sissoko there on the bench for Manchester City as well. So the Champions League is ready. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see how these younger players perform for Manchester City today. Big chance for them to play well. And really impress Pep Guardiola. Khaldoon is here today in Belgrade, Manchester City's chairman. And we have kick-off. It is underway. You can time your clock up with ours to try and get the commentary dead in time if you want to listen to me over anything else. And here goes City and Belgrade. Why'd they go to the full-back Dragovic, who's playing that left-hand side for Belgrade? It's more of a back three with the full-back on the far side, Nedledovic, pushing forward. Goalkeeper Glazer, who made a lot of saves in the first leg. A lot of saves at the Etihad. Glazer again. Belgrade looking to play out from the back, Manchester City. Not so aggressive in the press so far. Long and in behind Rico Lewis. John Stones takes it away and falls all the way down towards the striker and Jai. Dragovic. Little spin in the midfield by Kanga. Giving away towards Sergio Gomez and Manchester City have their first bit of possession of the game here. Just in under a minute. Ortega. Into Manu Akanji. MK is here as well, going for a City win. It's an early kickoff today, isn't it? A very early kickoff. Leaves you with the rest of the evening. So enjoy yourself. Watch some more football as well for the rest of the evening. Ortega wide towards Kovacic and back to Stefan Ortega. He'd said in midweek, hadn't he, Ortega, in an interview, that this is his chance to impress. MK says the other half, her other half says a 2-2 draw, but a tough match for City today. Poor touch by Stones and the pressure here. Rico Lewis goes and picks up and back to Stones. Manchester City, a little bit shaky at the back here at the start. Stones, Mateo Kovacic. Nice ball through towards Oscar Bob, who's playing that false 9 role well. Mateusz Nunes, drive by Mateusz Nunes to Manchester City, who drives into a wide area. Here is the Portuguese Mateusz Nunes. Lovely running from Mateusz Nunes here. Mateusz Nunes pulls it back here. Chance for City. Jack Grealish. Doesn't shoot, Jack Grealish. Takes his time. Into Sergio Gomez. I'm surprised City didn't score there. Michael Hamilton. Back out to Sergio Gomez. Well, someone had to pull a trigger there for City. Unfortunately, didn't. But lovely running from Matheus Nunes, driving forward, showing his pace there from midfield. Sergio Gomez, and City ended up working it all the way back to Manu Akanji and back to goalkeeper Stefan Ortega. Very good chance there for City. Matheus Nunes just picked the ball up in midfield, drove into a wide area. The burst of pace, the energy, the acceleration, the physicality, athleticism. Lewis Hamilton's brother starting to Ultra Gamer, yeah. He actually looks a little bit like Lewis Hamilton, I suppose. The dreads and everything as well. Mike Hamilton, but I don't think he is the brother. Or is he? Is he something I don't know? I don't think he is. He's way too young. Jack Grealish here. Into Sergio Gomez. Kovacic. Nice touches by Mateo Kovacic under pressure here. Into Matheus Nunes. Nunes wide right to Hamilton. Here's Michael Hamilton off the wide area. Can play centrally or out wide, can City's number 92. Lewis. City playing very fluid in the striker areas. Matheus Nunes at times going at striker. I think Matheus Nunes is sort of Pep Guardiola's Swiss Army knife in the sense that he can play anywhere and do anything. Kanji wide left to Jack Grealish here. Grealish, Super Jack. 2 in his last 2 games at the moment, Jack Grealish. Ball into the box here for Grealish. Chance for Matheus Nunes, beaten to it just. Rico Lewis down to Michael Hamilton. Michael back out towards Rico Lewis. Akanji bringing it over the halfway line. He's got Grealish far left and he finds Jack Grealish. Sergio Gomez narrow. Grealish holds on to it well, Jack Grealish here. Holding off the pressing by Ned Lavovic, the fullback. Kanji, Rico Lewis, and Rico goes all the way back to Stefan Ortega. But City have, they started pretty well there. Zvezda in terms of having the ball, playing the ball around the first minute or so. Once Manchester City have got the ball, they've kept it. And the Belgrade side have hardly touched it since. Manchester City have been impressive. And Matheus Nunes with a lot of drive in him so far, which is great to see. I think that is a big part of his game, Matheus Nunes. He's getting the ball, driving at the opposition. And we've seen it already. Sergio Gomez for Manchester City. Here is Stefan Ortega. Why did City go to Stones here? Stones couldn't get the end of it. He actually left it for Rico Lewis. Lewis couldn't get on it either. And it's out for a throw-in. Headed away. Kovacic down. They get it back here. Olayinka on that far left-hand side. Matheus Nunes, great physicality. Keeps hold of it, Matheus Nunes. Lovely play by Matheus. Keeps it still and then goes back to Rico Lewis. I think he just has to release the ball a little bit quicker there. Sometimes he's slow in his decision-making. I think that will come, though. He's certainly a project player for Pep. I don't think Pep particularly trusts him quite yet. Because I do think he can be a little bit too relaxed on the ball sometimes. I think his first touch lets him down and he's passing sometimes, Matheus Nunes. Ortega for City. He's asking for someone to come short, give him an option. Ortega goes long to Grealish. Nice ball by Ortega. Grealish back out to Sergio Gomez, doesn't quite find him. Akanji lets it run. And back to Stefan Ortega. I think a lot will go through Ortega this season. When he plays, we know that he loves to get on the ball and play. And, to think they play for Arminia Bielefeld, playing the long ball, he's done really well. Oscar Bob here. Through the back of him comes the Belgrade player. Bob puts it down. City trying to take it quickly, they can't do. Well, there was rumours that actually Pep Guardiola thought after Ederson's poor performances last season, going into this new season, Ortega would start, but Ederson really picked up towards the end of the season, played really well, and the end got back in as the starting goalkeeper of the Manchester City side. Long ball over the top here by Belgrade, Stones to deal with it, heads it cleanly, calmly, back down to goalkeeper Ortega. Kovacic. Does well here. Nice ball into Calvin Phillips. Phillips skips past the Belgrade midfielder. Taken out is Calvin Phillips. Free kick to Manchester City. Well, Phillips and Kovacic are a little bit hard to distinguish at the moment. Phillips has gone with the short hair now. The sort of dreaded man bun, or I don't know what you want to call it. But it's making it difficult to pick him out between him and Kovacic because they've both got short hair. And from the angle of the distance that the camera's on today in Belgrade, it can be a little bit difficult. Rico Lewis of Manchester City. Kovacic made a run at. He should have played the ball over the top there, Rico. Back out wide, right to John Stones here. City's defence split and Rico Lewis has found space in the middle of it. Rico. Manu Akanji. Jack Grealish. Great take by Grealish here. Wonderful from Jack Grealish. Lovely play from Grealish. Space. Grealish goes in towards Matheus Nunes. Nunes from Manchester City. Onto his left foot. Matheus Nunes back into Oscar Bob, who's dropping deep. Hamilton to the right of him. Michael Hamilton. Back out to Rico Lewis. Kovacic has got space, but... Or Phillips is, in fact, but City decide not to go into Phillips. Sergio Gomez. Lewis again. City working down this right-hand side. Rico. Lewis. Matheus Nunes. City really crowding one side of the field here. John Stones for City. Calvin Phillips picks it up and onto Manu Akanji. Jack Grealish is the man in space on the far side. And City are forced all the way back to the goalkeeper Ortega here. Who's playing well outside his box here. Well outside his box. Being the extra man in the build-up. Matheus Nunes drifts to the wide right-hand side. Lewis. Into Phillips. A late one on Rico Lewis here by the Belgrade midfielder. And there's going to be a talking to from the referee. It's a very late one by the Belgrade midfield. Kick on Rico Lewis, who limps away, back on his feet. Very late challenge on Rico Lewis. Wide towards Hamilton. Back out to Rico. Lewis. Bob. Hamilton makes a run in behind. Bob decides against the pass. Oscar Bob. Onto Matheus Nunes. Flick back through to Bob here. Couldn't get on the end of it on the return pass. Belgrade flick it through and they want to try and get a counter on now. City's trying to close them out with Hamilton and Phillips in there. Putting the press on. Oscar Bob leading the line today. He's not someone who's going to hold up the ball, really. But he is someone who's going to get involved and drop deep and try and create chances. It's a late one by Calvin Phillips and a free kick for the opposition. Back they go to the back line. And wide to captain Dragovic. Left midfielder for Belgrade. Goes back to the captain Dragovic again. And Glazer clears it away on the right foot. Rico Lewis got an aerial battle. Stones comes out to win it against Hwang. There is Kovacic in the midfield. Good win by Kovacic, is it? Yes, just quite. Hamilton skips past a few challenges. Hamilton dives in for a challenge, can't keep it. Then goes pressing. Unlucky Hamilton there. And back they go to Glazer. Back out wide to Dragovic. Ball through the middle here. Kovacic late to them. They're switching behind Sergio Gomez here. Good defending by Gomez and down. Straight to Belgrade. Skips away from Kovacic. That's poor from Gomez. A poor defensive header. Sergio Gomez can't make the challenge. He's beaten here by the wide man. Abari plays it into a good position. Akanji, good foot in. City win it back down this left-hand side. Gomez, Grealish. Back to Akanji. Sergio Gomez again. Calvin Phillips. Sergio Gomez once more. City playing out of a little pocket of space. Long ball to Bob. Well, Oscar Bob's never going to win a header. He's not that sort of player, and City give it back towards Belgrade. Pep Guardiola, I think, would be frustrated with that so far. City knocking it around in good areas, but then there's no point playing a long ball to Oscar Bob because Bob's not going to get on the end of it, is he the same? Back they go to goalkeeper Glazer. Long ball forward. Down by Akanji. Sergio Gomez. Here's Akanji. City slowing the game down, making Belgrade play at their pace when they can do. Just City yet to... The best chance they created was that Matheus Nunes drive on the right hand side earlier on. Akanji. Rico Lewis back to Akanji. City in a sort of back three now with Sergio Gomez on the left hand side of it. 2 games on currently. In Leipzig Young Boys as well. Ortega. Sergio Gomez. Down the line to Jack Grealish. Grealish does well there. Then he's going to find the pass though, Jack. Grealish still. Turns back on his right foot, Jack Grealish. And over to John Stones here. Slows it down completely there, Jack Grealish. Stones. Inside to Kovacic, who's saying go back to Ortega, which Mateo Kovacic does do. Well, Jack Grealish seems to have picked up an injury here, Jack Grealish. Well, down goes Manchester City's number 10, Grealish. He's had a season a little bit hampered by injuries. And he's down here now, Manchester City's number 10, holding his ribs on the left-hand side. Or his hip, I'm not exactly sure what Grealish has done here. Made a pass and then he's gone down afterwards. I'm not sure if there's a bit of an impact with him afterwards. from a player. He looks very tired, Jack Grealish. And he's really struggling here. Well, I don't know what it is for Grealish there. A lot of pain in his left side for Jack Grealish. And it looked like it's one of those injuries where he's picked it up with no one around him. He's passed the ball, everything seems okay. And he's holding his left side. And it's sort of just above his hip. Lower left-hand area. He's going to go off here, Grealish. But I'm not exactly sure what the issue is. I think he might continue. That's a strange one for Jack Grealish there. Very strange situation for him, isn't it? Well, we sort of don't need any forward players going off because we need to give those forward players a rest. Alvarez, who's played 29 games already for club and country this season. We're not even at the January yet. Well, Phil Foden is warming up in the situation that Grealish can't continue. But I hope he can continue, Grealish, because it's a chance for him to impress again. Grealish wants to come back on. The referee says he can come back on, but I'm not sure at all what the problem is with Grealish here. And if he is injured again, it's going to be a season absolutely hampered by injury for Jack Grealish already at this stage. Calvin Phillips. Phillips into Sergio Gomez. Wide left to Jack Grealish here. Grealish for City. Back he goes to Gomez. Grealish seems to be okay a little bit now. Not exactly sure what the issue was. Stefan Ortega. Got options Ortega, but he's not picked any quite yet. In towards Rico Lewis. Kovacic tells him to turn. Rico does turn. Or is it Oscar Bob that? Look very similar with the afros as well. Rico Lewis. Kovacic. Oscar Bob's got sort of yellow boots on. That's the only difference you can tell between him and Rico Lewis at the moment from the back of them. Can't even see the names very clearly. Here's Oscar Bob from Manchester City. Drifts into the right channel here. Bob. Bob for City goes back towards Captain John Stones. It's a slow game so far. City not really showing much in terms of drive. Calvin Phillips. Kovacic. Taken by Kovacic. Fouled again. This is foul number 3 or 4 in the midfield for them. Kanga this time. City play on quickly. Sergio Gomez brings it forward. Wide left to Jack Grealish. Grealish. Skips onto the right foot. Grealish. Slips and Grealish goes down and Grealish loses it here. And a counter for Red Star Belgrade. Ball out wide here. Njai. Hwang. Onto the overlapping wide man here. 1-on-1 with Rico Lewis. Couple of step overs. No. Cuts it back to Hwang. Oh, lovely short ball here. Across the box could it go? Stones across to them. Belgrade in the box here. Shot by Belgrade. Blocked by Stones. John Stones nearly loses it in his own box here. And it's going to go behind for a throw-in to Red Star Belgrade. Too relaxed from John Stones there. Had to release the ball quicker. Crossing blocked by Grealish. Another chance for Belgrade. Throw-in taken quickly. Pressure on from the Serbian side. Back they go to Kanga in the midfield. Wicket all the way along the back line. Here's Dragovic, the captain. Out to his wide left. Pressed by Rico Lewis and pushed back again. Well, you think Manchester City, especially some of these players in the pitch, would be have a point to prove? Oscar Bob, you'd think so. Rico Lewis. Jack Grealish giving away the midfield here to Mateusz Nunes. Into Jack Grealish. Grealish for City. In towards Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips takes way too long on it and he's lost it. That is so poor from Calvin Phillips. Half asleep on that pass. And Belgrade on the counter. Ortega comes across to deal with it. Sweeper keeper. Heads it out for a throw. But that's so relaxed from Calvin Phillips. He picks up the ball. He's got a Belgrade player behind him. And he's just so relaxed. The lack of intensity from Calvin Phillips. And a player that doesn't seem to be able to get in the game. Get it, in the team. You think he'd get in this game and really be into it. And it just seems like he's not bothered. I think he's accepted his fate, Phillips, that he's leaving in January. Bad pass by Belgrade. Wide man can't keep it in, throwing for Manchester City, but I can't believe how poor Phillips is in those situations. They had a good chance as well on the counter, Belgrade. And he did really well there, Ortega, to head it away. Came out, sweeper keeper, while Akanji. Switch of play here towards Hamilton. He does get there, Hamilton. Come on now, Mike Hamilton. Looking to go at him. Hamilton. Mateusz Nunes. Rico Lewis. Lewis goes back again. Stones back out to Mateusz Nunes. Hamilton's got so much space here. Mateusz Nunes swings when it's a poor cross. It's absolutely over everyone. It might go out for a throw in on the far side, which he does do. Well, lack of intensity for Manchester City today, so far, in these opening 17 minutes. City don't look like... Well, it looks like a dead rubber of a game, doesn't it? City don't look like they care. Tackle here by Sergio Gomez. Free kick goes the other way. Sergio Gomez just too aggressive apparently on Jai, but I don't think so. And Jai was backing into Sergio Gomez, who just stood there, arms out, saying I'm not touching him. Player goes down, they get a free kick. Ball in behind here. John Stones deals with it. Stones for City. Stones clears it well played Stones. Mateusz Nunes bundled into. Free kick Manchester City. Well, Mateusz Nunes probably the brightest of lights in the team at the moment, I have to say. He's the only one who looks like he's got something about his game today, looking to create as it stands in the first 18 minutes or so. Akanji back to Ortega. Stefan Ortega to send it long. Long and out to Grealish. Lovely ball by Ortega. Grealish takes it onto the right foot. He's got Oscar Bob in the middle here. Grealish bypasses Bob. He's got Mateusz Nunes making a run. He's found him. Mateusz Nunes pokes it wide to Michael Hamilton here. Hamilton for City. Hamilton to the box. It's shot by Michael Hamilton. What a goal by Hamilton. He scores at his first start for Manchester City. His senior debut. And Hamilton scores an absolute cracker of a strike there off the right-hand side. Well done, young Hamilton. Played out migration towards Nunes. Finds Hamilton on the far right-hand side. Little drop of the shoulder. Once, twice, and then he slams it into the top roof of the net. What a hit by young Michael Hamilton. Manchester City debut at 20 years of age. And he scores as Hamilton. The whole City bench get up and applaud the young man, who hits an absolute rocket of a strike. What a goal, says Ultra Gamer. Quite right. Slams it into the roof of the net. From Man City ball boy to Man City goal scorer, Michael Hamilton, 20 years of age. Maybe a superstar has been born for Manchester City. What a finish by Hamilton. Well, he couldn't have asked for a better start to his Manchester City career, could he? Cracks it in the roof of the net. What a hit. What a goal. Oh, and VAR is saying it could be offside, though. Oh, dear. No, goal given. VAR don't need to check it. Goal given. Michael Hamilton scores on his Manchester City debut. And what I was really good to see was the full City bench get up and applaud him and say well done to him. All the senior players very, very happy for him. Pep Guardiola as well. What a finish by Hamilton. Well, as a City player on the bench now, the likes of Soso maybe, or Max Elaine, True Grant, you're looking at a fellow youth international, or a youth international, of course, in England international level, but a fellow youth team player and saying, wow, I want to do that. I want to feel what emotion he has. What a goal. What a goal. Lovely finish from Hamilton. Oh, Kovacic could be in here for City, and Belgrade with a slip in the back. Just gets it away. Ridai's here. Hello to you, Ridai. Great to have you back again. Great to have you here with us, Ridai. Belgrade forward. Intercepted by Akanji. Into Phillips. And over to Rico Lewis. Rico. 1-0 Manchester City in Belgrade. And it is 20-year-old Hamilton. His senior debut. First appearance to the club. Starts the game. Scores. Sergio Gomez. Jack Grealish. Grealish, another winger coming through City's academy that's looking quite good in Hamilton. Back towards John Stones. Mateo Kovacic. Hamilton in space on that right hand side. Rico Lewis into Oscar Bob. Dropping deep Oscar Bob. Lovely spin by Bob. He's fouled again. And the Belgrade players will not let us take the free kick quickly. Every time they stand in front of us and put their arms out and stop it. And that is, in my eyes, a yellow card. It is in the Premier League. Redeye says the formation's looking normal, like how a normal team will line up, says Redeye. Yeah, I mean, in possession, it's a little bit different. It's sort of like Stones and Akanji on their own in a sort of two. Gomez and Rico pushing forward. Oscar Bobby's playing literally wherever, whenever he wants. And Bob, oh, nice ball behind by Bob. Cut out by the defender to stop Mateusz Nunes getting the end of it. But Bob in this false 9 role dropping deep is very impressive as well. I'm liking it. Stones. Rico Lewis. Rico. Lewis back to Stones. City work it along the back line. John Stones for Manchester City. Stones. City taking the time. Back to Rico Lewis. And Lewis goes back to goalkeeper Ortega. City very controlled today. The only time we were explosive was when Michael Hamilton smashed it one into the back of the net. Bob, the next superstar, hopefully, says Rid. I think Bob, Michael Hamilton, well, talk about a goal for yourself on your first start. Hamilton with an absolute wonder strike. Bob taken down here, no foul. They play on. Rico Lewis, a great interception. Rico there. Stop City from getting caught out. Big interception from Rico Lewis. And big interception there because they were in. They were in, weren't they? Kovacic. Back to Stones. Mateusz Nunes. Nice touch on the inside of his right foot. Nunes back over to Akanji. Rico Lewis is saying, I'm in space, find me. Manu Akanji clips it into Rico. Under pressure, Rico flicks onto Hamilton. Takes it well, Hamilton. Back to Rico Lewis. He's doing the simple things well, Hamilton. And when he gets his opportunity, he's taking it. Like that goal he smashed into the roof of the net. A few more youngsters on the bench, maybe a start for them. If we're 3 goals up, says Rid. Yeah, I think maybe Max Lane will get on. If we're 3 or 4-0 up, maybe Max Lane will get on. Mateusz Nunes here. Lovely little quick spin. Snapped on the edge of the box. Free kick for City. And once again, Zvezda kick the ball away. But a brilliant goal from Michael Hamilton on the replay here. Just drops the shoulder not once but twice. Then he hits it right into the roof of the net. It's a cracking strike. He's just onside. It's tight. But just onside here, Hamilton. The automated offside shows he is onside. And Hamilton finishes it off. I think bring Carson on for a short time, says Lisa. Well, he might get on, Scott Carson, actually. He might get on if Ortega gets injured, but other than that, I don't think he'll play. I'm surprised he didn't get a chance, to be fair, Carson ahead of Ortega, maybe. Hamilton good pressing there on that far right side by City's number 92. Chance for Hamilton to really impress, and so far he's taken it. Kovacic with a tackle. Or is it Phillips? Well, he seemed to get the ball there, Calvin Phillips, but the Red Star Belgrade player just drops the ground as if he'd been fouled. Let's have it see it again. He catches the toe slightly. There's hardly anything in that. Free kick given their way. The referees feel sorry for them, really. City have had 71% possession, 184 passes through their 76. Here's Hwang. Switch of play by Hwang. Jack Grealish across to it. Well, they are not a particularly good side. They did score against City. Good interception by Sergio Gomez. Picked up by Kovacic. Mateo Kovacic. Very late in the pass. And then Kovacic, I mean, he doesn't run very well, Kovacic. He seems very slow here. Can't get back. Belgrade bring the ball forward. Into the centre. Hwang flicks it on. Hamilton across. Hwang. Hamilton with him. So is Rico Lewis. Ball in, dealt with by Rico. And Lewis back to Stones. And then a really terrible pass by John Stones. Not related to the game, but do you think we can win the league once De Bruyne comes back from injury, says Nizat? Yeah, I think with De Bruyne back, City are a different team. I think we've struggled creating, haven't we? We've struggled creating quite a few times this season. De Bruyne back will create more chances for Haaland, hopefully score more goals. City tend to hit their sort of peak just after January, don't they? And go on a big run. I hope that's the case again this season. But De Bruyne, I mean, the best midfielder in the world is always going to make a difference to a team, Nizat. And I'm sure Kevin De Bruyne will. But I don't think he's going to come back and beat... Oh, chance for Belgrade here. Worked out wide. Pulled away from Grealish. A shot towards the top left-hand corner. Just past the post. Very nice bend towards the top corner. By the wide man for Belgrade. Very close to scoring. Quite right, Rid. De Bruyne is a soul of City. I think De Bruyne can... You know, the best midfielder in the world is going to come back. I think he's not going to make an immediate impact. He's going to take some time to get back. Think of how long he's been out. But once he gets back to full sharpness, I think he'll be class. And Belgrade with a chance there, by the way. that was bent on the left foot of the fullback. And it nearly touches the crossbar. It's right in the corner. Ortega stood still, beaten. Very unlucky. Ortega the ball through to Oscar Bob. Laid off to Mateusz Nunes. Oh, no, terrible pass by Nunes there. Had to do better. Akanji comes out and wins it. Kovacic into Mateusz Nunes again. Nunes turns. And again Mateusz Nunes. Lovely feet from Mateusz Nunes here. Then he's clattered into again by the midfielder. How many fouls? How many fouls, referee, are you going to let go in the midfield here? Because that is about foul number 7 here. Lisa thinks Hamilton should be in the first team. Well, he might get his chance. To be honest, I don't know much about him. He's been injured quite a lot for the youth team. Kanji. Switch a play to Rico. Lewis in the chest of Rico. Rico showing a bit of drive here for once, and he's bringing the ball forward for City. Lewis. Lewis still. Back he goes towards John Stones. Sergio Gomez on the turn. Gomez onto that left foot. Nice play by Sergio Gomez. Goes wide to Jack Grealish into a good space here. Grealish. Grealish skips over onto the left foot. Grealish crosses it in here to the far post. Just away by Belgrade. Behind for a corner. Manchester City. Onyinka there. From the wide area, from a wing position. Getting back and helping his side out. Corner Manchester City. Good play by Grealish. Decides to go on the outside around the inside. Left-footed cross. Headed away. Oscar Bob to take this one for City. Plays it short to Kovacic. Back into Oscar Bob. In behind to Mateusz Nunes. Good play from City. Mateusz Nunes fires with a cross here. Keeper makes a save. And just gets it away. Back to Oscar Bob though. Bob, Kovacic. Wide to Mateusz Nunes. Red-Eye's been watching some of the 2017 games. City midfielder De Bruyne, Silva and Fernandinho. Kovacic for the strike here. Should have passed it. Given away. Yeah, 2017, amazing. De Bruyne, Silva, Fernandinho. Oh, they're on the counter here. Belgrade. Cross the far post. And Stefan Ortega, the goalkeeper, gets there. Cuts it out. Nullifies the attack. But yeah, I mean, Sterling, Sané and Aguero wasn't into the best years that season. Says Red-Eye. Yeah, I mean, that midfield. David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne and Fernandinho. I don't think you'll ever beat that. I don't think you'll ever see a better midfield for Manchester City than that midfield right there. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant midfield for City. Lisa asked any transfer news. Well, we are being linked with Brazilian midfielder from Fluminense, Andre. He's heavily linked with Liverpool and Fulham as well. Apparently, he's personally offered himself to Manchester City to come in and perhaps replace Calvin Phillips in January. Here's Grealish. Switch to Hamilton. Just headed away by the defender. Kovacic gets there and down to Oscar Bob. Bob. Keeps it away from them. Back wide to Hamilton. Micah Hamilton. Bob. In towards Mateusz Nunes. City go back to Rico Lewis. Also, apparently City had representatives watching Jamal Musiala yesterday against Manchester United at Old Trafford. He's also high on the list, I think. And Calvin Phillips is expected to leave the club on loan this January with a view to a permanent move in the summer. Sergio Gomez. Oscar Bob. Calvin Phillips. Rico Lewis. Rico. Wide to Hamilton. Oscar Bob. Bob. Oh, lovely feet from Oscar Bob here. Bob, great skill. Oscar Bob! Blocked unlucky. Great skill by Oscar Bob there. Grealish back down to Kovacic and given away. Counter for Belgrade. Phillips can't cut it out. Lovely feet from Oscar Bob there. Isn't Jai. Ball through the middle and all the way through to Ortega. But lovely feet from Oscar Bob. Skips past 2 or 3, 4 challenges. His shot's unfortunately blocked. But lovely play from Oscar Bob. Sergio Gomez into Rico Lewis. Lewis drives forward for City. Rico. Lewis. Sergio Gomez. Creation space in this left-hand side. Calvin Phillips the only real option. Phillips. Rico Lewis. Back out to John Stones here. City playing with plenty of numbers in the attacking areas. We're not moving the ball quick enough to score goals, really. Mateusz Nunes. Rico Lewis. Sergio Gomez. Back to Rico. Across to Manu Akanji on this far left-hand side. Manu. Got Grealish to one way. Sergio Gomez offers a chance to pass to him. He goes back to John Stones here. Michael Hamilton's in so much space on the far right-hand side. Here's Oscar Bob. Skips back inside. Bob. Bob for City. Sergio Gomez once more. Rico. Stones. Hamilton was in so much space there. Would have been good if Stones could have switched the play. Well, it's Doku's injury, actually. So I don't know. City haven't confirmed, but I don't think it's a long-term injury for Jeremy Doku. It's just a small one that he's picked up. Another foul in the midfield by Red Star Belgrade. I mean, they've had about 9 fouls in the midfield, 10 fouls in the midfield now, and not a single yellow card given. And again, Rico Lewis is limping after a little late kick on him. Gomez. Rico Lewis. John Stones to Manchester City. Can he find a pass? Can he go somewhere? Stones. Gomez. Akanji. Wide to Grealish. Kovacic makes a run into the channel here. Outside the boot. Pass by Jack Grealish to Mateo Kovacic, who fires it across the box here. Chance for City! And Matheus Nunes has just missed an absolute sitter. Offside flag save City there. Outside of the boot. Pass by Jack Grealish and behind to Kovacic on this left-hand side. Kovacic, I think, has just gone a little bit too early. We'll see it again. Yeah, I think he has, Kovacic, just. But he plays it into Matheus Nunes. He's free in the box. It's an absolute sitter. And he slammed it wide. Side foots it as well. I could have scored. That's his Ultra Gamer. Well, he should have scored that, Matheus Nunes. That is a really, really bad miss from our midfielder, who has been quite impressive today. But not with that miss there. Should have easily put it in the back of the net. I'm very surprised he missed it. John Stones here in a physical battle with Njai. And he's given away a free kick in the process. Across they go. To the fullback. They're trying to work it out from the back here. Lloyd says he likes my voice. Thank you very much, Lloyd. I hope so. I hope that's why... that's maybe the reason why people listen to me commentating. I've no idea. Long ball forward here. Sergio Gomez beaten to it. Manu Akanji across and back to goalkeeper Stefan Ortega. And out towards Rico Lewis now. Rico Lewis today has been a little bit slow in possession. Doesn't seem to want to look wide and look forward. Rizline says Red-Eye. Could quite be from Lloyd there, couldn't it, Red-Eye? Here is Rico Lewis. Michael Hamilton. Matheus Nunes runs in behind. Hamilton back to Rico Lewis. Nunes in space on the far right-hand side. Found again. Back to Rico Lewis. No real space in there for Phillips and Kovacic at the moment. Why is Edison playing since Lisa? Well, one, he's been rested because Ortega was always going to play this one, but also Edison's ill at the moment, so he's not even on the bench today. Now that says he feels like the academy is definitely top 5 or 3 in the world because of the players we produce, such as Sancho, Foden, Lavia. Yeah, I mean, if you look at some of the big teams around, if you just look at the Premier League teams, Nizat, for example, there's a lot of Manchester City graduates in the top Premier League sides. I mean, Chelsea have got Lavia, Palmer from Manchester City. You've got Newcastle with Kieran Trippier, the captain, came from the Manchester City youth system. There's plenty around there. Rico Lewis, lovely spin here on the fullback. Pull back, no foul, says the referee. Another foul here by Belgrade, and still no yellow card. Well, the referee must have a bet on that there's no cards until half-time here, because the amount of fouls that Belgrade have done here, and still no cards. But yeah, there's that. The City have got a lot of top players around. I mean, look at Burnley. James Trafford, a City graduate. In their first team, starting goalkeeper. Sheffield United, James McAtee on there, on loan, yes, but still a City graduate. Arsenal, 2 players that have come through City, not a graduate, but in terms of playing for the first team, in, of course, Alexander Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. Manchester City have an impact on the full team. On the full, league as well of the Premier League. Very impressive youth system. Long ball forward here. Offside against Njai. Referee says not offside. They play on. Njai wide here. City with Stones and Akanji just stop playing. John Stones and Akanji not happy with the linesman here. He was certain the striker was offside there. But the linesman said no. I don't know why. I mean, Stones and Akanji stopped playing. It nearly created a chance of Belgrade. Here's John Stones for Manchester City. Stones. Back to Ortega. Well, this game has flown by, actually. 36 minutes on the clock already. And Manchester City not playing with real intensity, but doing their best. Long ball by Ortega. Matheus Nunes never going to get in there. It's way overhit by Stefan Ortega. Into the hands of Glazer, the fellow goalkeeper on the opposition side. Tanguy forward. Running to the channel here. They've got runners here. Bakari. Bakari, they're switching behind Rico Lewis, who deals it on the chest of Rico. Can we go forward, Rico? In towards Mateusz Nunes, down to Michael Hamilton. Hamilton just can't keep it. He managed to just get away with it. Mateusz Nunes drives forward again here. Mateusz Nunes, who's got a lovely drive, a lovely stride. Mateusz Nunes. Mateusz Nunes still into Oscar Bob here. So unlucky. Maybe should have gone to Jack Grealish for the strike there. Mateusz Nunes, he tried to poke it through to Oscar Bob. I don't think expected the midfield to pass. I think his final ball is certainly something to work on Mateusz Nunes. But in terms of driving at the opposition, he's got that down, hasn't he? Certainly got that down to a T. City come forward again here. Hamilton, poor ball. No City player there. Calvin Phillips wins the header. Belgrade head it away again. Calvin Phillips in there again for a header, and it's a free kick Belgrade's way. Everything is a foul. Everything is a foul in the midfield. I think City really should focus on 2 midfielders and 1 winger, says Redeye. I think the midfield is certainly a situation City need to work on. I think we need someone, a project player to back up Rodri. I think we certainly need a backup for Rodri if Phillips is going. I think we need a new creative player. And we need maybe just a normal midfielder as well. But maybe a winger. I mean, Lucas Paquetá could be still an option for Manchester City. 1 experienced midfielder, 1 young. But a good one for Kevin De Bruyne replacement. More creative winger. Yeah, I don't know. We need someone who can play off the right, really. All the good ones in world football play off the left. Wide to Jack Grealish here. Jack Grealish has got option at the far post. Grealish into the left foot. Grealish looks to cross it. Blocked away by Belgrade. He didn't really have options in the box there. Nizat says he doesn't understand why Pep's forcing Vardell being inverted fullback when he's a centre-back. Yeah, I think it's because of his ability on the ball. But I think Vardell is struggling because he is a centre-back and he's been playing out of position. Sometimes it makes him look worse than he is. And you've got to think, he's only 21. He's only 21. He's younger than Phil Foden. Kovacic into Micah Hamilton. Good feet, slips, keeps it. Grealish. Grealish swings onto the far post. It's a terrible cross by Grealish. And he's straight out for a corner. What is that? By Grealish there. Slice it straight out for a goal kick on the far side. Really poor from Jack Grealish. They take it short here. Glazer. City keeping the press on. Mateusz Nunes chasing the opposition down here. Jack Grealish no interest in chasing down the fullback. Just seems very, very tired today, Grealish. I've been watching Xavi Simons, says Redeye. Well, Simons looks a very good player, but he's only on loan from PSG, and PSG and Manchester City I don't think will ever do business. Sergio Gomez, good pass to him by Ortega, into Phillips. Phillips takes it well. Phillips is taken down again. Another foul by the midfielder, Hwang. And still no yellow card. Well, what do you have to do for a yellow card? Because this is amounting to an unbelievable amount of free fouls now in the midfield. Foul after foul after foul again by Red Star Belgrade in the midfield. And no yellow card yet given. An interesting stat there. Calvin Phillips, who starts today, has started more games for England than he has for Manchester City. Here's Oscar Bob. Heavy touch by Bob. Dispossessed the edge of his own box here. Trouble for City. Hwang. Poor from Oscar Bob. Onyinka with a strike here into the hands of Ortega. Ortega throws it quick out to Jack Grealish. You can't even control the football here, Jack Grealish. Out it goes to throwing for Red Star. Well, Jack Grealish is having a bit of a struggling performance here today so far. Ball behind, Akanji reads this one. Stefan Ortega, the keeper, gets there. There's a push in the back of Akanji here. That is a very, very horrible challenge here by the forward. It should be a yellow card for the Belgrade player who doesn't get one, who pushes Akanji into his goalkeeper Ortega. It is very dangerous. Very dangerous. And he should be getting a yellow card for that one. Nothing given. Well, this referee, the most lenient referee in world football. No yellow card for that is a bad decision. Oscar Bob, for the back of him comes another foul by Red Star Belgrade. Still no yellow card given. Well, what is the referee thinking today? There's a midfielder from Palmeiras, says Redite. His name is Rios Richard. I've not heard of him. Maybe he's quite good. There's plenty of Brazilian wonder kids, isn't there? It's just maybe 1 in every 50 actually make it. Mateusz Nunes. Wide to Rico Lewis. Rico. Back he goes to Stones. The forward pass isn't there from Lewis today. He's always seemed to be looking backwards. Ortega. Ortega for City. In towards Kovacic, who takes it well, Mateo Kovacic. Good turn by Mateo Kovacic. In towards Mateusz Nunes. Nunes. He's got Rico Lewis to pass to. On to Phillips. Calvin Phillips out to Rico Lewis. Good play from City there. Stretch to play. Here's Rico Lewis now. Rico. Wide to Michael Hamilton. Hamilton. Nowhere to go for him in the end. Hamilton still. Oh, he looked a bit limited there, Hamilton. Nowhere to go. Had to go back. John Stones. Akanji. I know Akanji behind to Hamilton. I think it's offside there. Lines and puts his flag up straight away on Michael Hamilton. Well, he didn't do when it was them. Did he? Didn't do when it was them. Ridai saying this should sell a defender and invest the money in a good left back. Yeah, I mean, Miguel Gutierrez is heavily linked with City at the moment. After having a really good season at Girona. So far, Miguel Gutierrez. But Real Madrid are sort of in charge of that situation. Very much in charge of that situation, Real Madrid. Ball out wide here by Dragovic. John Stones beats him to it and back to goalkeeper Ortega. Here is Akanji. Here's Ortega. Ortega still. Phillips back towards. This should sell Grealish as Lisa. I don't think you'd ever get your money back for him, Lisa. You're just going to have to put up with him. I mean, he's not the sort of winger that a lot of people like. Oh, what a ball by Akanji. Cuts them open here. Mateusz Nunes from Manchester City. Mateusz Nunes here. Wide to Hamilton again. Hamilton across the box to Oscar Bob, who misses this open net here. Kept in by Grealish. Jack Grealish. Out to Kovacic. Calvin Phillips with a strike, and he absolutely slices that one completely wide. Really poor by Phillips. Well, lovely play by Akanji. Ball in towards Nunes, who drove into Hamilton. Oscar Bob misses a really good chance there, sliding in. Probably should have scored there, Oscar Bob. Mike Hamilton put it on a plate for him. And Bob just could not get a foot on it. And then Calvin Phillips ran onto it on the edge of the box and absolutely sliced it a country mile wide there. Akanji in a battle here. And he wins it well, Akanji. But City can't keep it. Slipped by Hamilton. Dragovic. Only 1-0 here. Long ball out to the wide channel here for the attacking wing-back. Sergio Gomez gets across. Given support here. Kanga. Chance here for Belgrade. Crosses the box here. Taken down. No. Rico Lewis underneath it. Foot away. Gets it away. 1 minute here in the Champions League. And Manchester City look like they're going to go in 1-0 up at half-time. Here's Hwang. Dragovic, the captain. Switch of play. Dealt with by Sergio Gomez just. Akanji gets on the end of it. Akanji bursts forward. Great play from Manu. Akanji. Gliding away from Kanga there. Into Grealish. He's absolutely slammed here, Jack Grealish. And still no yellow card, is there? No. First yellow card of the game goes to Spatic. It should have been yellow cards way before that, but he's let a lot of tackles go. This one, Grealish skips past him. He goes straight into the knees of Grealish here. That's a really bad challenge on Jack Grealish. You could see the face of the Belgrade bench behind. We're also unhappy with that challenge by Spatic. It's a yellow card for him. The number 5. I'm surprised he's the first one to get a yellow card because any of their midfielders could be on at least one. Very bad challenge here. Let's see if Grealish is going to be okay because he looked in a lot of pain on the floor there. He's let a lot go here, the referee, today. I let a lot go here in Serbia. There's plenty of potential to Phillips, says Ridai, but he just couldn't live up to it. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to be very good anyway when we signed him, if I'm honest with you. And that is half-time. Manchester City lead by 1-0 in Belgrade against Serbian side Cvena Zvezda. Jack Grealish had a little talking to the referee here because he's not happy with the multiple challenges that have been going in. Jack Grealish is having a right go at the referee here. How many fouls has the referee let go here today? John Stone's having a go at the referee as well. Multiple fouls going in on the Manchester City players, and Jack Grealish very unhappy with that very late one on him. Very late one on him that seems to, might, force Grealish off in the second half. I'm going to have a little break over half-time. I'll be back for the second half. Manchester City against Belgrade, where City looked to come out on top. Chance for the younger players to score, and it came with Micah Hamilton making his Manchester City senior debut. Cracking one into the roof of the net. Brilliant finish. City 1, Red Star Belgrade 0. Rudai is going to keep the chat alive during the break. Great to see Rudai. I'll be right back for the second half very shortly. It's Haaland, and here in career mode, City have won the lot. Rodri on the chance! Goal in the final by Rodri! Jude Bellingham will not be coming to Manchester City. We are Premier League champions, City FC, our champions series based on the World Cup with music videos, football and more. Get your official City FC merchandise. Join us as we explore historic Europe and football.
Got enough of every melody, they all sound the same. Yeah, for my broken heart, no remedy, but maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. memories might let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. You can get away with it, 'cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Yeah. What's on the other side of inhibition? Ooh, I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so cool.
Tryna get my attention, tryna get your redemption. But now that I'm gone, you want me back. Yeah, I gave you everything, gave you a diamond ring to watch it fall from your head. I don't wanna love again, 'cause I'll be living with regret. I don't wanna love again, 'cause I'll be living with regret. And I don't wanna love again, 'cause I'll be living with regret. You came back to me, I don't trick or treat, don't knock on my door, don't want you no more. You broke me, and I don't wanna see you, and I don't wanna see you again. Now just trying, oh, don't deny the fact that there's never less to you. I played the game but lost the bet. I don't wanna love again, and I don't wanna love again. I just want a bag, like an old smoking, I don't own papers, pass that 808. That don't shake her. Oh, bitch, you know I'm grinding like a pro skater. Baby mama bugging, I'm so quick to hit ignore. Buku bitches in my bed, I got scales all on my floor. I got money on the line, plus I'm clocking it galore. I got bitches kissing bitches, all them bitches go explore. I'm feeling way up, I stay up. Put your bitch on my Snapchat, while I make her. She want a chance with me, cause she know I'm a rapper. I give a but I never get feelings, cause shawty, I know what you after. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. Watch I look, I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my putting. Put two in your man if your man keep a looking. Act like a poopy, your bitch get tookin'. I'm not the type to go with them niggas who fuck with them niggas who stay on some fish. Oh, young and trapping out the bando. From the ceiling fan to the damn floor. Trying to stack my money up, cause that's the only way we can go. Tell my mama that I'm okay. See the money coming through the doorway. Got a bad bitch with a lot of money, that's foreplay. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me.
It's Haaland, and here in Crvena, City have won the lot. Rodri on the chance! Goal in the final by Rodri! Jude Bellingham will not be coming to Manchester City. We are Premier League champions, City FC, our champions. Series based on the World Cup with music videos, football and more. Get your official City FC merchandise. Join us as we explore historic Europe and football. Hello, welcome back to the second half of Manchester City versus Red Star Belgrade. City currently 1-0 up at half-time. It's good to see still some of you in the chat. Ridai has been deserted in the chat, it seems, by everyone. You tried to keep it alive, Ridai. Anyone excited for the future? Hopefully playing a new City FC when it comes out, says Ridai. City FC, yes, of course. City FC is something definitely on my list again, Ridai, for the future. Second half is close to getting underway here against Red Star Belgrade. City FC was fantastic, wasn't it, that series? I really, really did enjoy it. The only thing that worried me was it just didn't get the views I expected or I needed, really. That's the only downside with City FC. It just does not get the views that I need, really. Not like the Manchester City career mode does. Maybe the City FC has to be like a members thing permanently. That's the only way it's going to work, unfortunately. And I don't think all you guys are members. So, yeah. That's a difficult one. One for the future anyway, Ridai. One for the future. The two sides are coming back out to the field here now. Red Star Belgrade and Manchester City. I don't think there's any changes at half-time for City, or has they? Yes, there has. Phil Foden comes onto the field for the injured Jack Grealish. Grealish unable to continue. Phil Foden comes on. Grealish very unhappy with the referee in that first half. The amount of fouls that we saw in there and nothing given. Red Star Belgrade against Manchester City. Going to be an exciting second half, I hope. Anyway, I hope City come out with a bit more zip and, you know, just want to knock the ball around a bit quicker, a bit more aggression, and really try and score a few goals. I think Matheus Nunes was very impressed in that first half. It's just when it comes to that final pass, that final shot, that decision making, he lacks. But I'm sure that'll be something that he works on, he can improve on as a footballer under Pep Guardiola and into this Manchester City side. So Phil Foden comes on for Manchester City at half-time, replacing the injured Jack Grealish, who was unable to continue after that very late challenge on him at the end of the first half. Here comes Phil Foden. So the champions, the current holders, the European champions, Manchester City, lead by 1-0, don't we, through Micah Hamilton's goal. 18 minutes into his full senior debut. And Hamilton scores. Referee whistles to the lips. Haaland has 40 UEFA Champions League goals in 35 matches. I feel the end of his career would break Ronaldo's record. Well, if he does that in his app, that would be absolutely amazing. Second half underway here. Chris is here from he's in Whitby at the moment. Hello to Chris. Good to have you. Manchester City lead by 1-0. And second half is underway here. Hopefully a more exciting second half where Manchester City do want to get the ball a bit more, make things happen. Well, Belgrade have come out with a bit more of a press in the second half, which I think could end badly for them. Although they can do what they want, Belgrade. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a Belgrade player threw a punch. The referee would still probably struggle to get his yellow card out. Ortega with a lovely ball through the middle towards Phil Foden. And wide here to Hamilton, who's moved out to the left-hand side, Michael Hamilton. At the start of this half, Hamilton skips through. Hamilton into Foden. Oh, and Phil Foden can't control it. Good work from Hamilton. Poor control by Phil Foden. It looks like Michael Hamilton's moved out to the left-hand side. Foden has gone through the middle at the moment. Maybe Matheus Nunes has gone to the right. I think that is the way. Yeah, Foden through the middle. Matheus Nunes right wing. Mike Hamilton left wing. Chance for him to cut in on his right foot, Hamilton. Stefan Ortega. Good ball in the middle again to Phil Foden. It's causing problems in the midfield. And here's Kovacic and City drive forward now. Michael Hamilton again off this left-hand side. Hamilton. Oh, it's Bob on the right. Hamilton. Looks to skip past the player. Hamilton unlucky. Could fall to Kovacic in the box here. Kovacic, good touches. Back into Calvin Phillips. Foden. Phillips. Matheus Nunes. Wide to Oscar Bob, who's now on the right-hand side. Bob in behind to Matheus Nunes. Looks to cross it. Decides against it. Back out towards Bob. Rico Lewis. Matheus Nunes. Lewis continues with the run. Back into Bob. Matheus Nunes. And back towards John Stones. Here's Calvin Phillips once more. Phillips. Into Foden. Sticks to his foot. Sergio Gomez around the corner to Micah Hamilton, who's getting much more involved in this second half down this far side. Hamilton. Hamilton. Space opens up. Hamilton with a strike here! Just past the post by Hamilton. Nearly bubbles and bends it into the far right-hand corner. Cuts it on his right foot here, Hamilton. Space opens up. And it just bubbles and bends just past the post. Very unlucky Hamilton didn't get his second there today, the 20-year-old. Oof. Very close from Michael Hamilton again. Here's Oscar Bob. Phillips. Matheus Nunes. Who's been good, really good today. Everything until he gets to the final moments. Sergio Gomez. Gomez again. There's so much space for Hamilton. They go wide to Rico Lewis instead. Rico. Oscar Bob behind here. Bad ball by Rico. Bob's gotten to the end of it actually. Bob still. Oscar Bob. Clips one in. Matheus Nunes for the overhead kick. And dealt with. And he got kicked in the shoulder here, Matheus Nunes. And he's down here holding the arm. This could be another injury for Manchester City. Chris says it's freezing in Whitby, but these beautiful Christmas lights. Matheus Nunes is crying here. Like these literal tears from Matheus Nunes. Stood on by the player. Studs into the shoulder of Matheus Nunes. That looks a really painful one. Garnacho scores a wilder with the overhead, says Chris. Nunez tries and puts his shoulder out. It could be a broken shoulder, that. I don't know. But judging by the way he reacts to that, Matheus Nunes, it does not look good for him. And that could be another midfielder gone for Manchester City. Nunes out. Phillips off in January. City's midfield is light. City's midfield might be about to get lighter. Let's hope he's okay, but he's still down here receiving treatment, Matheus Nunes. I have a feeling he's not going to get back up here. Studs of the Red Star Belgrade player right on the shoulder of him as he hit the floor. It looks like it's been a very painful one for him. And he's still down. I have a feeling he's not going to get back up and play on here. Oh, he is up. And he's holding the shoulder here, Matheus Nunes. I think he's going to be okay. He's going to try and run it off here, the midfielder. That's good to see. For the moment, Oscar Bob goes to the right and Phil Foden through the middle as a striker now. Why they go towards the wide man? The wing back or full back. Their right hand side has done that often throughout this game. Glazer goalkeeper plays it longer. Kanji. More physical ends than die. Stones beaten to it here. Good chance for Belgrade. Tries to skip past Stones as Bakari's kept it. Bakari, great play. Clips to the far post here. Chance for Njai. What a save by Ortega. Strong arm by Stefan Ortega. Keeps it out and Kovacic runs the ball away for City. Tackled too easily. Belgrade come forward again. Strike from range. And Stefan Ortega. Right arm stretches out. Fingertips over the bar. Two very good saves by City's German in goal. Very good saves by Ortega. The first one, Manuel Neuer-esque, just stretches the right arm out and punches it away. Second one, he has to dive and tip it over the bar. Crossing by Belgrade. Chance again, Rico Lewis away. Volley once again to the middle here. And Ortega, through a big amount of body, Stefan Ortega makes the save. But Belgrade putting the pressure on City here. Good save by Ortega, actually. Stuck an arm out. Pushed it away. And then the second one came from range. Sliced off the boot and Ortega diving with both hands. Tips it over the crossbar. Matheus Nunes for Manchester City. City on the attack. Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob. Edge of the box to Calvin Phillips, who can't control it. Free kick to Belgrade here for nothing. Absolutely nothing. And free kick goes Belgrade's way. Apparently Calvin Phillips has fouled a player here. The yellow card comes out for Calvin Phillips. What an interesting decision from the referee. So in the first half, this referee didn't believe that yellow cards exist. And suddenly, when a Manchester City player makes a foul, the yellow card magically appears in the referee's hand. Yellow card for Phillips. So the ref does have some cards on him. That's nice to see. Chris Ortega every bit as good as Edison. He is, isn't it? He's too good to be second choice goalkeeper. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose him in the summer. And a big club come in and say, listen, we want him as number one and we're willing to pay 20, 30 million for him. Because I do think he's a top quality goalkeeper. Long and behind City's defence here. Ortega playing sweeper keeper. Comes out and picks it up. Well done, Stefan Ortega. Really good play from Ortega. Phillips on a yellow card for his second foul of the game. Red Star Belgrade's midfielders that are on their 5th and 6th of the game are allowed. Foul on Phil Foden now. Is that not a yellow card, referee? Nope. Another foul by Spasic here, who's already in a yellow card, the centre-back, after a horrible foul on Jack Grealish. That save by Ortega is so unorthodox. The first one. Just stretches the arm out and it sort of hits you on the arm. He's got massive forearms, Ortega. Very strong arm. Here's a Kanji. Sergio Gomez. Kanji. Back to Stefan Ortega again for City to try and build up from the back here. Hamilton's looked lively off that left-hand side as well here today. Maybe even better off the left-hand side. Ball into Matheus Nunes and back out to Stones. Back into Ortega again. Pressing on Ortega, who clips it into the middle to Bob. He can't find it. It's a poor ball by Ortega. Here's Kwang. Gives it away. Rico Lewis steps in and wins it. Kovacic puts the tackle in there. Phillips it is. Lewis has to be a bit stronger there. Bit weak from Rico Lewis at right back. Well, the fans have not stopped chanting for a second in this game here in Belgrade. Dragovic dribbles it out of play. Then he runs away with the ball, so he can't even take the throw in. Runs it all the way to the side of the field and then throws it. I think the City players, we're not used to this in the Premier League, time wasting quite as much as this, like they have done. Slowing the game down, stopping City from taking things quickly. Ortega. Nice ball into Foden. Flicks it back through to Akanji. Manu. Lovely burst of pace by Akanji here. Akanji. Micah Hamilton. In behind towards Mateusz Nunes. Good interception by the defender there. Mateusz Nunes knew he was in if Hamilton gets that ball through to him. Here is Sergio Gomez. He's lost it. Kovacic watched it out for a throw. A little push in the back to Kovacic there. Another one. They like to do little niggly fouls off the ball here. We saw one of a player shoving Akanji into the goalkeeper, Ortega nearly injuring him earlier on in the game, which the referee didn't even think was a foul. Heavy touch by Stones here. Late one on Stones. Another foul here by the Red Star Belgrade player. He says it's the shoulder. He won't give Stones the ball back here. He shakes his hand. I mean, it's not a shoulder, is it? He jumps in with the leg as well and fouls John Stones. It's never a shoulder when you jump in with all your body weight and your feet are off the ground. Ortega. Good ball into Foden. Foden back out towards Sergio Gomez. Foden's been fouled off the ball here. A late one on Phil Foden, who's gone down injured now. City play on Ortega into Phillips. Calvin Phillips dispossessed the edge of his box here. And the referee stops the game. Well, it weren't a foul on Phillips. Calvin Phillips gives the ball away on the edge of his own box. That's a bad mistake by Phillips. On the edge of his own box, gives it away. It wasn't a foul. I thought he nicked the ball off him there. It weren't a foul. Calvin Phillips, a lucky boy. Gives the ball away on the edge of his box. They're making a change now. 3 changes, actually, in fact. Red Star Belgrade. They're going to go for it a bit more. Alexander Katai comes on for Gwelior Kanga in the midfield. Second substitution for Red Star is Vladimir Lukic coming into the field for Peter Oladjinka in that forward line. And I think there was a third substitution as well. There was. Who is this? I can't tell you who it is, but the third substitution there. Jovan Mijotovic has come on for Sheriff Ndai. So a full change to the front line pretty much for Belgrade. Clips it forward towards Phil Foden, knocks it onto to Oscar Barb, and a big sliding challenge here on Oscar Barb. Another nasty challenge by Belgrade. Wide to Michael Hamilton, who's got space here. Hamilton on that right foot. Back out towards Sergio Gomez. Kovacic. And back he goes to Stones. They like a late challenge here. Stones through to Foden. Flicked onto Kovacic. Wide to Hamilton. Space for Micah Hamilton here. Back into Kovacic. Big heavy touch by Kovacic. Nearly dispossessed, but he works it back in towards Phillips. Sergio Gomez back to Akanji. Rico Lewis in acres of space. They go in towards Sergio Gomez. Micah Hamilton again. Sergio Gomez. Akanji. Akanji for City. Rico Lewis. Rico, lovely touch there by Rico. Then he slips. Lewis, that's unfortunate. Couldn't get his feet planted in the floor there, Rico Lewis. Pressing by Micah Hamilton. Goalkeeper Glazer's forced long. Phillips nods it back down straight to Belgrade. What a terrible header by Calvin Phillips. And he's been skipped past here. Too easy by Phillips again. Luckily for the Belgrade player, he forgot the ball. Rico Lewis, a lovely little nutmeg there. Nice skill by Rico. City push forward now. Rico Lewis in towards Phil Foden. Wide left to Micah Hamilton. Hamilton, heavy touch. Hamilton. Back out to Sergio Gomez. Kovacic. Micah Hamilton again. Down this left-hand side. Hamilton. Kovacic. Sergio Gomez. Manu Akanji. Rico Lewis goes narrow. Cuts inside and Akanji can find him. Wide right to Oscar Bob. Rico Lewis has made a really nice run. Bob decides against it. Into Mateusz Nunes. Back to Oscar Bob. And Bob goes back towards John Stones here. Mateusz Nunes. Lovely dribbling by Mateusz Nunes. He's taken down again here. Still no yellow card. Still no yellow card. Taken down the midfield here. Mateusz Nunes. Kicked, pulled. Kicked, pulled. Twice, 3 times. He should have left his studs out, Nunes, and hope the player landed on him. Ball through over top here. Stone to Sergio Gomez, who gets there. Tackled. Oscar Bob presses. Long ball forward. Phillips loses the header. John Stones goes and takes it down. Down to Phillips. Into Akanji, who's got a man on him. Whatever Phillips does just isn't good, is it? Ortega with a heavy touch and gets it wide to Akanji anyway. Well done, Stefan Ortega. Akanji. Kovacic. Kovacic, straight for the middle here, Kovacic. Brilliant running by Kovacic. Sergio Gomez picks it up. Back to Kovacic. Space out wide for Bob. Kovacic should have given it Bob. Kovacic decides against it. Kovacic goes for goal. What a joke from Kovacic. We play so well there, Kovacic. He's got Oscar Bob to thread through on the right, Hamilton on the left, and he just decides to delay, and then just kick it at the player in front of him. Stupid from Kovacic. Mateusz Nunes. Come on. Should be 2-0 there, because Bob's in so much space, I expect him to score. Rico, Nunes, turns. Oh, Nunes. Actually, Mateusz Nunes, I'd say. Commentators sometimes say Nunes. I'd say Nunes because the Portuguese like to just not pronounce the end of their names. Ruben Neves, you would say, but it says Ruben Neves. That's how they say it. Should hear how they say Ronaldo. Oh, great play by City. Sergio Gomez takes it off them. Gomez. Wide to Michael Hamilton. No, a poor ball by Sergio Gomez. Michael Hamilton's in space on the far side. And he tries to cross it in. It's into Nel Djokovic. And out for a throw-in. Twice City have let themselves down with poor balls. Kovacic and Gomez picking the wrong option. Back to Akanji. Into Phillips. Phillips goes all the way back to Ortega. Well, only 1-0, but it could be more if City could find that final pass. Ortega sends it long to Phil Foden. Dealt with. Can City pick up the second ball? Nodded on. Stones is there. Into Rico Lewis. Rico, well played. Lewis. Into Oscar Bob. Lewis makes a run. Bob brings it forward here. Bob. Skips one way, then the other. Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob! What a goal by Oscar Bob! Individual brilliance from Oscar Bob. Skips past challenge after challenge. One way, then the other. Finally onto the left foot. And smashed in by Oscar Bob in the bottom left-hand corner. Rolled him. Absolute brilliant skill from Oscar Bob. And City's 2 young stars on the score sheet today. Bob picks it up from Rico Lewis. Runs at the opposition. He looks like he's going to cut inside. Then Bob goes one way. Skips back to the outside with a lovely flick. Back onto the left foot. And rolls it into the bottom left-hand corner. Beautiful from Oscar Bob. What a player. What a player Oscar Bob is. Fantastic finish from Oscar Bob. Manchester City take a 2-0 lead now. Doubled by Oscar Bob. Gliding through the defence. And then roll it into the bottom left-hand corner. Brilliant play. An individual skill from Manchester City's second Norwegian after Erling Haaland. In Oscar Bob. Great finish from Bob. City 2-0 up now. And I think the game feels like it will be built beyond Red Star Belgrade now. What a finish from Oscar Bob. Brilliant goal. 2-0 Manchester City. Come on, City, we want more now. We want more, and let's get Max Alane in the field. Let's get maybe Sissoko in the midfield on the field as well. Brilliant from our young players, Andrew. Quite right. I mean, both from the wide areas scoring. Bob and also Michael Hamilton. And I want to mention that we've also got Joel Ndala in the youth system, who's absolutely electric as well. He's like a Jeremy Doku style player. I'd love to see him get a chance at some point as well. Bob can't win the header. Neither can Foden. They take it down. Passed into the midfield. Foden chases. Here's Hwang. Switched out to the left-hand side. Belgrade come forward now. Oscar Bob off the right. Good play by Lukic. Tackle by Calvin Phillips. Nice tackle by Phillips. Phillips tries to go forward here. Good play by Phillips. Cuts back. Phillips. Terrible ball by Phillips. Gives it straight back to Belgrade. He's not a Manchester City player, Phillips. He's not even a Belgrade player. Down the box goes the Belgrade player. Jumps on the ball here. Rico Lewis can't stop the cross. Chance here. Akanji slices it away. think Calvin Phillips would look out of place in the Belgrade midfield. Although, going around fouling people, he's probably quite good at that. John Stones clears it away for City and Belgrade get the ball back. Great job by Bob. 2-0, says Chris. Brilliant goal by Oscar Bob. Both goals coming from the right-hand side. Cutting inside. Bob gets a deflection on it. Still falls to the wide man. Ball in behind. Rico Lewis cuts it out. Then Lewis is fouled and taken down here. Free kick Manchester City. His Kakai is offside anyway. Well, Rico Lewis went down in the challenge there. Well, Rodic is going to come on now for Red Star Belgrade. He looks like a midfielder. Or he's a centre-back, in fact. And Uros Spafic, the man on a yellow card, is off. Milan Rodic comes on. At the centre-back position. The guy who's just come off is the only player on a yellow card for Belgrade. I just don't know how that is possible. Stefan Ortega. Lovely ball by Ortega again. Mateusz Nunes. What a turn. Is the yellow card coming out here? Oh, wow. The referee's remembered his cards today. Yellow card for the Belgrade midfielder. He makes foul number 40. Probably he's about 10th of the game. Mateusz Nunes spins him on the centre circle with a lovely touch on the right foot. Just kicks him. Make sure he takes him down here. Yellow card for Milivojevic there. Misses the next match now after that yellow card. Doesn't matter because they won't be going out through the Champions League anyway, will they? Maybe you missed the one at the start of next season if you get into the Champions League. I don't exactly know how that works. Stefan Ortega for Manchester City. Ortega's been wonderful in his distribution again today. What a player as well. He's such a good goalkeeper. Nunes to Phillips. Back to Mateusz Nunes. Kovacic. Back to Ortega. Ortega sends one forward here for City. Oscar Bob takes it. Through the back of him comes the Belgrade player. No free kicks as the referee. Ball into the middle here. Kanji flick past. And all the way through to goalkeeper Ortega, who takes it easily. And rolled out to Kovacic. Kovacic pulled down again. Another foul by Belgrade. I'd love to see the stats here today. I'll have a look actually what the stats are for this game, because the fouls by Belgrade are absolutely mounting up here. Time and time again. Ball for the middle here. Calvin Phillips can't get there. Hwang. Wide left he goes. Lukic. Into the middle. To the midfielder for them. They can't do anything with it. Back they go. Bob can't beat the Hwang to it. Stats-wise, let's have a look at fouls. Surely it'll say fouls. Yellow cards 2-1. Disciplinary. Here we go. 19 fouls to Manchester City 7. 19 fouls and only 2 yellow cards. 19 fouls and only 2 yellow cards. Wow. Belgrade bring it out from the back here, looking for a long ball. Work it wide right to the fullback. Ball in behind Sergio Gomez, who leaves it all the way through to Akanji and back to Stefan Ortega. Striker's going to press Ortega, who's not bothered about it. Plays it calmly into Kovacic. Kovacic, Phillips. Phillips in towards Mateusz Nunes here. Here comes a driver, Mateusz Nunes once again. Nunes drives forward here, heavy touch here, slide into him. Good challenge of Mateusz Nunes, unlucky there. And he goes out for a throw into the opposition. Rodic comes across. Makes a big challenge on Mateusz Nunes. Took a heavy touch. I really tried to drive at the opposition Mateusz Nunes again. And he's done a really good job of doing that. Brings a lot of energy and a lot of drive. Lukic. Little nutmeg on Oscar Bob. Forced backwards here. Rodic with a left-footed sweep away. John Stones beats the man to it and flicks it straight, passes it straight to Hwang. They play it wide now. Bit of a countering opportunity for Belgrade, maybe. Ball in behind, straight to the middle. City's defence open up here. Chance from range here and slice wide. Or a shot taken from range here. From one of the substitutes. And he drags it wide. Tried to hit one from 30 yards out here. Maybe a little bit less, but drags it wide straight into the hoardings there. City kept the pressure on. Goal kick to be taken by Manu Akanji. Short to Ortega to the right of him. Ortega. They've actually covered more distance. Belgrade. City have had double the amount of passes pretty much. Akanji a ball into Mateusz Nunes. Lays it off to Phil Foden. Bad ball by Foden to Bob. That's cheap from Phil Foden. Very poor pass on the right foot of Phil. And back there goes the goalkeeper. Here's Glazer. Not related to the owners of Manchester United, I don't believe. Keeper with a poor pass, is it? No, he's found his man. Rico Lewis across. Free kick. Rico Lewis been a little bit too close to Lukic there. Foul after foul after foul in this game. There was no foul by Rico Lewis at all there. City now. Another foul. Stefan Ortega comes out. Gets this one. I don't know what Stefan Ortega's doing here, but it was not in his goal. They try to take it quickly. Into the midfield. Wide right to the fullback. Ball forward. Manu Akanji in there. Good strength by Manu Akanji. Absolutely bulldozes the Belgrade midfielder. Akanji. Here's Mateusz Nunes. Tackled here. Well won on the ball here. And counter for Belgrade. Mateusz Nunes. Give the ball away. Ball into the middle. Sergio Gomez across here. Chance for Belgrade, who cracked the post. Big chance. Matrokovic. Very good chance. Played in. Sergio Gomez there. Got his body in there. Just stopped him a little bit. Narrowed the angle as well with Ortega. And the young wide man cracks the post. That comes from Mateusz Nunes being tackled in the midfield there, giving it away. Oh, as a young Belgrade fan there, must be about, what, 5 or 6 years of age. Really excited to see their side score, maybe. Unfortunately, she didn't see that. Unfortunately for her, anyway. I don't care, really. Here's Calvin Phillips. Into Oscar Bob here. Bob, Phillips. Kovacic. Gomez, Kovacic. Look at the space of Michael Hamilton, that left-hand side. Into Phil Foden. Decides not to go to Hamilton. Back to Kovacic. Back we go to Akanji. Well, a few times where I feel like City could have gone forward today. We decided against it. With, you know, lost control of passing. Kovacic. Phillips back towards Ortega. City very much in control of this game. There's no doubt about that. Kovacic. Good ball into Phillips. Back to Kovacic. Mateo Kovacic for City. Drives the ball forward. Kovacic into Sergio Gomez. Gives it away with a poor ball. Makes a City throw him. Comes off the wide man for Belgrade. I don't know what he's complaining about there. He clearly kicked that. And the throwing goes all the way back to Stefan Ortega. They have hit the post. They've tested Ortega a few times in this game. Twice, 3 times, but City have had the better 2 chances. City have had the better chance, really. Mateusz Nunes missed a sitter earlier on. Long ball up towards Hamilton. That was by Belgrade. Bob wins it back here. Great play from Bob. Ball into the middle towards Calvin Phillips. Look forward, Phillips. Look forward. Phillips. Phillips. Out to Micah Hamilton here. 1-on-1 with the fullback. Hamilton. Decides against trying to beat him. Kovacic. Back to Hamilton by Kovacic. Hamilton still. Sergio Gomez. Rico Lewis makes an angle for a pass in the centre, but he goes backwards. Now, Manu Akanji, he's just stood still. In towards Mateusz Nunes here. Oscar Bob. Phillips. Mateusz Nunes. Under pressure. Skips past the challenges so well. Glides on the ball, doesn't he, Mateusz Nunes? Back to Phillips. Akanji. Sergio Gomez. Good play by City. Mateusz Nunes. Good play by him. Wide towards Oscar Bob. Mateusz Nunes makes a running behind, so does Rico Lewis. Bob still. Bob into Rico. Rico. No runners at all from City. No movement. Kovacic. Sergio Gomez finds himself on the right-hand side. Gomez. Oscar Bob. Mateusz Nunes in space here. Mateusz Nunes. Back to Bob. City passing Belgrade all over the place here. Back they go to Stones. Kovacic. Forgets that there's a player on top of him there, Kovacic. So cheap from Mateo Kovacic. And a counter for Belgrade now. And a terrible ball over the top here. All the way through to Ortega. Luckily they're terrible. Kovacic so unaware of his surroundings there. Too slow from City. Really too slow. It's been like that quite a few times today. Way too slow. Way too slow. City just so relaxed. So relaxed. And Kovacic too relaxed there. Kovacic. Stones. Back to Kovacic. Back to goalkeeper Ortega. He's had some touches today, Ortega. He's probably touched the ball more times than maybe the Belgrade defenders. I would easily believe that. Maybe even the forwards as well. Akanji. Out towards John Stones. Back to Ortega. Pressure on him. Ortega. Lovely skill from Ortega under pressure. Little Cruyff turn. Out to Akanji. Back to Kovacic. In towards Foden. Back to Kovacic again. And into Phillips. Well played City. Mateus Nunes. Round the corner to Sergio Gomez, who seems to have come to right back now. Enrico Lewis to left back. That's the way City have changed it. And they're going to make a substitution for Manchester City here. And I think another youth player is going to get a chance here. They are. Well, number 8, Mateo Kovacic is going to come off here. And we're going to see 15 minutes for Mahamadou Sissoko. So Mahamadou Sissoko comes on for Manchester City. In the midfield, the young Catalan. Replaces Mateo Kovacic. Young defensive midfielder. Great to see him on there for Manchester City. And a chance for the young man to get an appearance for himself. I think Max Alain on the bench as well. Centre-back be looking at it thinking maybe I'll get a chance as well today. Oh, might be called straight into action here because here's Belgrade with a chance here. And it's Hwang and Belgrade score! Belgrade pull one back, 2-1. Poor from Manchester City. And pounced upon by Hwang. Who is it that gives it away? Well, the camera is focusing on Calvin Phillips. City give it away. Calvin Phillips nowhere to be seen. He doesn't track his man, Calvin Phillips. He just gives up. And Hwang scores ahead of John Stones, past Ortega. Great finish, but Calvin Phillips didn't even try and get back there. No interest at all, Calvin Phillips, in getting back and helping his side out. Lazy from Phillips, and he wonders why he doesn't get picked. Very, very lazy from Phillips, and now Belgrade. A full court press on Manchester City here. Ortega slams it away. Hamilton beaten to it. In there, Akanji. Sissoko back towards Sergio Gomez. And the game is completely changed now. Sissoko. Back they go. Ortega. Long ball forward and Escobar beaten to it. Well, the mood has changed here. The fans are right up for it, aren't they? Absolutely right up for it now. Manchester City could be in with a big, intense finish. City win it. Phillips in there. Can't keep it. Falls to Mateus Nunes from Manchester City. Wide to Oscar Bob. City need a bit of magic here. Oscar Bob down this right-hand side for Manchester City. A bit of magic for City would just get them right back in this one, wouldn't it? Because there is a feeling now that things have changed quite a lot. Especially Belgrade getting that goal. And Manchester City in a bit of trouble. A bit of trouble because of that. Because, I mean, City in full control of the game. The change of the young player coming on. Sissoko is not the difference, really. It's the fact that Manchester City, poor defending. I mean, your experienced players you're relying on, aren't you, in those situations? And they weren't. They weren't there. The Belgrade player down here. He looks to have hurt himself. He's going to get back to his feet. He's been pulled straight back up by his teammate here. Went for a header with Sergio Gomez off the header Gomez. City keep it. Don't think it's going to be a free kick. I think the referee's just going to say play on, drop ball. Well, the number 2 for Belgrade is off now. Nedeljkovic comes off and Kabic, a winger, comes on. Another young player on for Belgrade. So Soho picks it up, tries to pass it, caught out. Foden's there, Foden! Oh, he should have passed it to Sergio Gomez. Greedy from Phil Foden. Big mistake by City there. Well, big mistake by Belgrade. Big mistake by Foden not to pass it. So Soho gets it through to Foden. They clear it into Phil Foden. All he's got to do is to pass this to Sergio Gomez. He goes for glory, Phil Foden. And he slices it wide. Here's Lukic on this left-hand side here. Defending for Rico Lewis to do. Lukic, past Rico. Rico can't stop it, can he? He's thrown to the floor here. Lukic still. Oh, and then he's lost his feet. And it's going to be a goal kick, but the atmosphere has completely changed now. Oh, he tried to do too much there, the winger. Tried to do little tricks and skills, and in the end, Rico Lewis stood his ground. Here's Stefan Ortega. Into Sissoko here. Young midfielder. Back towards Akanji. Back into Ortega. City seem to just lost their rhythm completely. A long ball up towards Foden, dealt with. Hwang on. Calvin Phillips is there. And Phillips across to John Stones. Stones for City. Stones into the midfield here. Oscar Bob picks it up. Manchester City counts now. Lovely run by John Stones. Stones. Oscar Bob. Bob. Into Sissoko here. He's got Michael Hamilton to one side. Sissoko. He's so slow on the ball. Again. He was a few times so far, the young midfielder. Too slow on the ball to Sissoko so far. Out to Hamilton. Gomez decides not to play it in behind. Akanji. Gomez. Wide towards Oscar Bob on this right hand side. Bob. Back to Rico Lewis in the chest of Rico. Flicked over to Mateus Nunes who takes it. Having the shirt pulled and being pulled. Hwang with another foul here. Hwang with another foul here. Foul number 23, I think, from Zvezda. But no yellow card for Hwang. No yellow card for Hwang still. The goal scorer still gets away. And Mateus Nunes got cramped now. And he might be forced to come off. So cramp for Mateus Nunes. The fans are booing him for wasting time. But he's going to be okay. I think he's going to be able to play on. He's done a lot of running today, Mateus Nunes. It's worried, isn't it, that even in a game against Red Star Belgrade, Calvin Phillips can't impress. He's still poor. He's still probably the worst player in the field. And you've got players that are like in the 19, 20 years of age looking a better player than you. Lewis back towards Stones. Lewis. Bernardo Silva's going to come on for City. Pep Guardiola thinks looking at this and saying a bit of control is needed. Ortega. Both sides have had 9 attempts. We've only had 2 attempts on target today. Belgrade have had 5. So Soho brings the ball forward for Manchester City. Signed from Espanyol in 2017. Throwing for City. Throwing goes Belgrade's way. And who's coming off for Manchester City then? Who will Bernardo Silva replace? It is Mateus Nunes. He's done a lot of running today. The Portuguese midfielder. He could have easily got a goal for himself if he hadn't missed a good chance. But substitution, Mateus Nunes off. And on comes Bernardo Silva for a bit of control. Bernardo Silva, on he comes. Mateus Nunes had a very good game for us today. Very good game for us today. Sergio Gomez heads it out for a throw-in towards Belgrade. Manchester City need to ride the storm here. And they seem to have seen it out a little bit. Initial pressure after that goal. Ball out wide. Gomez in there. Well played. Sergio Gomez. Great play from Sergio Gomez. Lovely feet from him. Sissoko back. Phillips. Oh, he goes back. Calvin Phillips is the one of the most frustrating. I think I'm done with Phillips. I'm sick of giving him the benefit of the doubt. Oh, he doesn't get a chance and so on. He's absolutely useless. He wouldn't even get in their team. Calvin Phillips wouldn't start for Manchester United. That's how bad he is. He wouldn't even start for Manchester United. Soho. Bernardo Silva in behind towards Oscar Bob. Bob controls it well. Bob into Bernardo Silva again. Bernardo Bernardo Silva still. Look at the space of Mike Hamilton this far side. Hamilton for City. Hamilton. Gustepo always tries to run through a gap of players. Hamilton pulled down. Penalty, Manchester City. Clear as day. Won by Michael Hamilton. Great play from Michael Hamilton. Really good play. Pulls him down. Mike Hamilton skips through 2 players here brilliantly. 2 arms round Hamilton. Pulls him down. Pulls him down here. And it's a penalty, Manchester City. Oh my word. Oh my word. Are we a charity now? Calvin Phillips to take the penalty. Chris has got to go. See you later, Chris. Have a good evening. Calvin Phillips to take the penalty for Manchester City. Charity. Charity by Manchester City, so Phillips can get a single goal to his name before he leaves the club in January. Here's Calvin Phillips to step up. Charity work from the Manchester City players. We're letting Calvin Phillips take a penalty for us. Oh my word. Calvin Phillips steps up from the spot. He'll probably score, to be fair to him. Calvin Phillips scores. Manchester City 3. And how bad do you have to be if Calvin Phillips has scored against you? Calvin Phillips into the side, netting on the left-hand side. The keeper beats him 3 on Manchester City. And Calvin Phillips, of all people, scores. From the spot. Calvin Phillips scores. Good penalty taken by Phillips. Good penalty into the side left-hand netting. Very good finishing by Phillips. Very good penalty taken by him. Well, he's good at one thing at least, and that is kicking it from the spot. Calvin Phillips scores. Manchester City 3. Zvezda 1. And City make it 3-1. He came, he won a treble, and he left, Calvin Phillips. Well, John Stones comes off for Manchester City. Nathan Ake comes onto the field. I don't think there's going to be a chance for young Max Elaine to make an appearance, unfortunately. It looks like Sissoko in the midfield will be the last youngster. Nathan Ake. He's on now for John Stones, who's rested. Glazer sends it long. Ake in there. Sissoko across to Hwang. Ball in behind here. Sergio Gomez beaten. Stefan Ortega out. Sends it straight out for a throw in more than Ortega. Red Star Belgrade try and take it quickly, which they do. Sissoko across to win it. Great tap. Oh my word! This referee is genuinely the worst referee we have ever had. This referee is that Sissoko comes out. He wins the ball cleanly. The Belgrade player goes down and he gives a free kick. This is some of the worst refereeing I've ever seen. This referee isn't a real referee, is it? They've picked him out the stands. They've picked him out the stands, haven't they? What are they doing? How is it foul by Sissoko there? I just don't understand it. There was never a foul. He wins the ball cleanly. And the referee gives somehow a free kick. I just don't know. Here's Ortega. They had a good chance for a free kick there, Belgrade, but in the end, they were offside anyway. Potential penalty check from VAR here. We'll have to see. Potential penalty check for Red Star Belgrade. No surprise there with some of the tackles we've seen today. Potential penalty check from the referee for Red Star Belgrade. What for? For handball, I think. Maybe it touched the hand when it was swung in. No, it doesn't. Play on. Nothing in it. Check over. It was nothing. Absolutely nothing. Foden knocks it on here. Oh, wait. Phillips. Being pushed in the back here, Calvin Phillips. No free kick given. What is this ref playing at? This referee is genuinely atrocious. I mean, I have never... I mean, the Premier League referees are incompetent. This guy, it's like he's never watched a game of football before. Where is he from, the referee? Which league does he referee in? Here's a Kanji, sent forward for City. Oscar Bob can't beat him to it. Foden nearly gets in the end of that one. Pressing by City and they run out of play. It's a throw into Manchester City. Well, Michael Hamilton winning a penalty on his debut and scoring a goal is pretty impressive. Foden can't get in the end of this one. The referee is from Azerbaijan. So maybe he referees in the Azerbaijan league, which I assume is not even a proper football league. I don't know. I'm just assuming. Ball forward here. Rico Lewis onto the end of it ahead of Hwang here. Let's look at the space in the middle for City. Rico Lewis in towards Phil Foden. Bad pass by Rico. So Soho was there as well, but doesn't seem to have a lot of energy for Soho. He seems a bit uninterested at the moment, actually. The young midfielder. He's sort of strolling around. City are going to win this game. I can't see them scoring 2 now. Long ball forward. Kanji out of position. Bad touch. Phillips beaten to it. Rico Lewis the footing. Can't win it. Chance here for Belgrade again. Belgrade past the Kanji. Hits one. Hits the foot of a Kanji behind for a corner. Well, Manchester City concede again, which is a bad thing to say. We have conceded again in this game. And City give it a good go. 5 added minutes here. 5 added minutes. Cross the coming from a corner here. Him by Hwang. Free header! Goal here for Katai. And they pull another one back. I tell you what, our defending at the moment is genuinely woeful. Manchester City couldn't keep a clean sheet. Ever at the moment. I think it's Sergio Gomez here who is absolutely outstrengthed by Katai on a set piece. Good ball in by Hwang. It's super weak, I think, from Sergio Gomez. Nathan Ake. Ake and Gomez lose their man. Sergio Gomez and Ake. Well, Gomez actually jumps into Ake, so he can't do anything. It's so poor by Sergio Gomez. And Belgrade pull another one back, 3-2. Well, the game is still alive for them here. The game is still alive for them here. There's a bit of VAR goal check here. We'll have to see. Sergio Gomez limps off injured. He wants a free kick, Gomez here. VAR will check this. We'll have to see. The referee says goal, 3-2. Goal for Red Star Belgrade. So 3-2, they pull another one back. Game on still. Ortega sends it out wide. There's still 3 minutes or so to play. Still chance for Red Star Belgrade to get something in it again. Calvin Phillips with a terrible first touch. And it's gone through for Red Star Belgrade. Nathan Ake is there. Ortega. Ortega long for City up to Oscar Bob, who can't win the knock-on. Red Star still push forward. Giving away to Oscar Bob. Bob out wide to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo keeps it in. Bernardo Silva still for City. Bernardo. Bad ball into Bob here by Bernardo Silva. Manchester City throwing. And Pep Guardiola is telling him to slow it down. Red Star Belgrade trying to slow it up. Quicken it up. Throwing for Manchester City on this far right hand side. It looks like City will come away with 3 points, but haven't been great. Rico Lewis taking his time here. Rico Lewis throwing it long to Phil Foden, beaten to it by Medic, down to Oscar Bob. So Soho here. And back he goes to Ortega, well played, young midfielder. Ortega wide to Sergio Gomez. What a ball by Ortega. Could play midfield as well. Gomez. Foden. Back to Gomez, to Soho. Into Foden, good play by City, Sergio Gomez. Michael Hamilton's offside here, I think. Sliding challenge, he is offside, it's behind for a throw-in. He went and the ball didn't come to him. By the time he's trying to get back on side, as he's trying to get himself back on side, they play the ball through to him. Difficult one for Hamilton. Big sliding challenge by the fullback there. Long ball by Belgrade. Sergio Gomez back to his goalkeeper, Ortega. Ortega long and up towards Bob again. Lovely ball on the chest of Oscar Bob now. Bob gets his body across. Bob still fighting for it. Bob in towards Bernardo Silva. Little flick through by Bernardo on the nutmeg. Bob is taken down late here. They play on. Here's Bernardo Silva for Manchester City. Bernardo Silva. Wide to Micah Hamilton. Hamilton into Foden. Foden should pass it down the box here. Phil Foden trying to be over clever again. City give it away. Should have done a little flick back through to Mike Hamilton. It's a long ball to Belgrade, which Ake chases. Ake gets there. Well played, Nathan Ake. But good play from Mike Hamilton. He wants a little 1-2 with Phil Foden. Foden trying to be too clever. Again, like the chance we had a shot. Phillips. Lewis. Bernardo Silva. Bob in space. Bernardo can't play it through. He's give it away here. It's cheap from Bernardo. Kanji can't win it. City in trouble. Katai the goal scorer. Slice to swing one in, blocked by Rico Lewis. It's Bernardo Silva, the poor pass to give Belgrade the ball back. Well, they've scored 2 goals against Manchester City, which shouldn't have happened. Hwang. Belgrade have got to swing this ball, and they do. Nathan Ake heads it away. Mike Hamilton chases it. Hamilton knocks it on. Gets his body in there, Hamilton. Well played. Back to Sergio Gomez. Gomez forward towards Soho. Down towards Hamilton. Back towards Gomez again and back in towards Stefan Ortega. Ortega long and in behind towards Phil Foden. Hwang takes it down brilliantly. Back to the goalkeeper again. They're going to get a few more minutes here. The 5 minutes have been played, but the referee plays on. Maybe another attack is on for them. Manchester City throw in now. We'll have to see. Referee blows the full-time whistle. That is it. Manchester City with a 3-2 win over Red Star Belgrade. Goals for the likes of Michael Hamilton, Oscar Bob and Calvin Phillips. A 3-2 win in the end, but 2 goals conceded by Manchester City. 2 goals that should not have been conceded. A lot of late challenges in there. The referee let go as well, which is a bit of a shame. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us here on the We Are City channel. We'll be back for the next away game, whenever that is. I think it should be anyway. It could be the Everton game, which I might not be around, due to be around the Christmas time. But thanks for joining us. We won 6-2 in aggregate as Ultra Gamer. Yeah, we should not have conceded 2 goals to them. Didn't they score against us at home as well? Wasn't it 6-3 in aggregate? Yeah, 6-3. Ultra Gamer says, corrects himself there. Quite right. But good chance for Hamilton to impress and the likes of Bob as well, which was great to see. Thank you for watching, guys. We'll be back for the next one. Keep watching our videos as always, and we'll see you guys next time. It's Haaland, and here in career mode, City have won the lot. Rodri on the chance! Goal in the final by Rodri! Jude Bellingham will not be coming to Manchester City. We are Premier League champions, City FC, our champion series based on the World Cup with music videos, football and more. Get your official City FC merchandise. Join us as we explore historic Europe and football.